Hey guys, it's GameFace and welcome back to episode 59 of my Leeds United career mode. Now today we're going to be again playing some more Premier League games. We've got 3 more matches to play. 2 of those are against West Ham and the third being against Stoke City. I don't know which ones I'll be playing yet. I'll definitely be playing this first West Ham match. Probably sim Stoke and probably play West Ham. I don't think I'll be able to play 2 games though in this episode, so that's probably going to be next episode when we see that. Along with obviously the Burton game, and then we'll eventually get into the January transfer window. Obviously we do have some games quite close together, as I mentioned in the previous episode. We have 4 games in just over a week, so it's going to be a tough week for us, but hopefully we can try and get as many wins as possible. Apologies I didn't upload yesterday. I'm getting quite busy now. I'm back at school and that sort of thing, so it'll probably be the case at some point I won't be able to upload every single day, but I'll try and upload as much as possible, and again episodes will probably become a little bit shorter, so apologies about that, but there's not a lot I can do about it. So let's go with this game now, hopefully get ourselves a win against West Ham. It's going to be an away match. Before we get into things, if we could go hit 20 likes on this video, that'd be really appreciated. Also, don't forget to go subscribe as well if you haven't already. If we do hit 20 likes, then I'll upload the Valencia career mode as soon as I see it. So hopefully you guys can go and do that. And yeah, let's play this match against West Ham. I've gone with a team which is pretty much my usual side now, to be honest. Obviously, Yaya Toure isn't in the team because for me he's not one of my better players in games. So Calvin Phillips replaces where Yaya Toure would usually be seen, I suppose. If we have a look at West Ham's team, it's an okay team. I mean, there's certainly weaknesses there in defence, in midfield, and obviously having Yelovich up front is hardly a quality striker. Now I've said that, they will probably score against us now. But if you have a look at that best away records, we're top of that. That's pretty decent, 20 points. So yeah, the best away record in the league. That's a very interesting stat, that one. Hopefully it can continue in this away game. Lewis Cook running through already. Did that take a deflection? Okay, not the greatest shot to begin with, but at least we've got into the half and already had a shot just a couple of minutes in. Also, a quick notice actually on the topic of Lewis Cook. He obviously won Player of the Year, so that was very good news, or Young Player of the Year, I should say. So yeah, it was great news for Leeds. He was up against some decent players as well, so it was good that he's won that. So obviously the likes of Bale and Dele Alli have won it in previous years, so that's pretty impressive. Let me know in the comments what you think about that, and obviously the other championship awards as well that we saw given out a couple of days ago. When yeah, trying to play it through it to Calvin Phillips. Can he finish it off? He has done. Brilliant intricate play there in the final third. 1-0, 11 minutes in. It's Calvin Phillips, who's been on fire since he's come into the team. I randomly played him one game and he seemed to do really well, so he's stuck in the side as much as possible when he's being fit. I've just put him in there and he's done absolutely brilliantly going forward. And he acts as obviously another midfielder as well, because that's where he usually plays. And he's got as our first goal of the game. 1-0 already. Great start. Kiarte is proving tough to get off the ball. He's someone that I'm looking at, to be honest, to replace Yaya Toure. He's the sort of player I think we need in midfield. We do need someone that's big and quite strong, because obviously we've got Bridcut and Lewis Cook. So he's certainly someone I'm looking at. Doesn't mean necessarily I will sign him. But I think, God, we need someone a little bit stronger in midfield to come off the bench or occasionally start for us. And Kiarte would be an interesting player to have in the team. But like I say, it doesn't necessarily mean I'll be signing him. What did I say? Yelovich has gone and scored. 1-1. Ball gets crossed in from Williams, and it's a simple head from him in the end. And we probably should prevent that one, to be honest. It's their best chance of the game that they've had. They've not had too many good chances. That's a simple ball over the top. I don't know where Galloway's gone. And Yedlin can't quite catch up for some reason. A little bit unrealistic. And Congolo couldn't quite head that one away either. It is 1-1, 6 minutes before half-time. Not a great end to this first half, where I think we have just about edged it. And it's half-time 1-1. We need half-time to come round, to be honest, because they have started to dominate the ball a lot with those last few minutes. So we desperately need to try and get hold of the ball a bit more in the second half. Whether that's going to work out, I'm not really too sure. But again, we just need to make sure we can keep hold of the ball a lot better. We've wasted the ball too much towards the end of that first half. And if we can do that, I think we've got another couple of goals in us. Through to Berahino. Can he finish this one off? Oh, he has done. I wasn't expecting that. 2-1, 63 minutes in. That's come from nowhere. I think we just won back the ball from West Ham. And a simple pass through to Berahino, who's actually been very quiet in this game so far. So the fact he's sprung up with a goal just says how good he can be when he wants to be. Lovely pass through, this time an assist from Calvin Phillips, and a decent finish there from Berahino, 2-1, and we've started this second half much better. Meunier trying to find Lewis Cook with the pass, and he has done brilliantly. He's then going to feed it on to Damari Gray. Can he find Berahino at the back post? He has done. Good save. And surely he gets brought down there by Adrian. Otherwise that would have been an easy tap-in, but brilliant play yet again. Not too happy about that one, because I'm sure that the keeper's brought him down there. Prevented him from getting to the ball as well. Should have been a penalty. Little chip pass hasn't helped Winston Reid out. And it is 3-1. What was that pass all about? A chipped pass. I don't know who it was with the pass, but it hasn't helped Reid out whatsoever. Look at this. So unnecessary to chip it. Easy interception there from Berahino. I thought they would have given a free kick, possibly. They sometimes do for those ones. But Berahino slots it past Adrian just about. And it's now 3-1. That's 2 for Berahino. And I think we're going to make some changes now. We've got a 2-goal lead. And one of the changes is going to be to take off Lewis Cook, bring on Dele Alli, and I think we'll also take up Berahino, bring on Wilson, because we've got a lot of games coming up at the moment, so we need to make sure we rest as many players as possible. And we'll also take up Calvin Phillips and start Alex Moore, I think. Hopefully those 3 changes will protect some of those players going into the next game against, I think it's Stoke City, did I say, before the game? Oh, Adrian's come up actually for that corner. I hadn't quite realised. This gives us a great chance on the break, if we can get it past O'Brien, which we haven't managed to. But now, certainly with a couple of minutes left, they'll be throwing a lot of players forward, so we should have another chance to potentially get a 4th goal here. So that's what I'm going to try and do on the counter-attack. Alex Mowatt looking for the pass through to Callum Wilson, who's not really done much in the Leeds shirt for us since joining, but now's his chance on his right foot. Oof, not a bad shot. Does get us a corner, hoping maybe for it to sneak in to the near post, but he had it covered there, Adrian. And Bridcut just to put in the ball to Congolo, maybe. Nearly landed straight on his head. Nobody seemed to be marking him. Was punched away eventually. And that is it for this game against West Ham. 3-1 win. Our away form continues. We've been brilliant for away games. And that's a really good performance yet again. Plenty of shots on target, as you can see there, possession-wise, as we usually are a lot lower than the other teams. That's fine. And yeah, we've got the 3 points. Let's wait and see now whereabouts we go in the league. Big game against Stoke City as well. They play Everton soon. And let's see, where are we in the league? 5th place. Very good. So we're not too far off sort of the top couple of places. Now see Chelsea have got a huge lead in front of Newcastle in 2nd place. But we are only 8 points off them and 1 point off 2nd place, which is great news. So I am obviously going to be trying to win the league. Whether we can do that, I'm not really too sure. But certainly Champions League is what we're aiming for. And if we can try and nick 2nd, then that would be absolutely fantastic. But yes, let's move on now to the Stoke City game. Only 1 day's rest. That's very risky for us to try and sim it, but I'm going to have to do that. I don't have time to fit a second game into this episode to be played. But we do have Galloway going up here to 77 overall. That's great. He's our starting left back, for those of you who don't know. And he's obviously going to be our starting left back for a little while, but the looks of it now he's gone up. So let's move on to the Stoke City game. Have we got anything here? Mexico want me. Okay, Bridcut's emailed me again. He's done this a few times, I think, Bridcut, saying he's not feeling up to it. That's fair enough. We will leave him out of this game, I would have thought. Mexico have come back and they want me, basically. I was with Ivory Coast before, and usually when I pick these teams, it's because I'm trying to scout players I want for Leeds. And I'm actually going to accept this one, I think. I'm not going to accept the Bolivia one, for obvious reasons. But the Mexico job, I think I'm going to accept it. It might only be for 6 months. It might only be for 2 months. I'm not really too sure, to be honest. But I'm going to accept it to try and scout some new players for Leeds in the January transfer window. If Mexico have some good youngsters, maybe I'll try and sign them. That's the only reason why I do the international ones, or certainly that's the only reason why I've done it on the Leeds career mode anyway. So I'm going to accept it. I think we'll have a look at the team, see whether we've got any good players for Mexico. I'll be back in a second once I've done that. Okay, so there's a good few youngsters in this Mexico team. This is one of them, 78 overall. He's 22 years old. There's nobody that stands out particularly, but this guy certainly looks okay. Maybe someone that we could sign. Also, the goalkeeper as well, 21 years old, doesn't look too bad. There's a couple of others. I think, where was it? Was it this guy? Yeah, he's 6 foot, 24 years old, 75 overall, doesn't look too bad as well. But there are a few decent players in this team, actually. I'm quite happy with with joining Mexico. They've got a better team than I thought. We'll quickly have a look at the whole squad that we have to choose from, rather than just the players that have already been selected. So let's have a quick look. Is there anybody else outside of this that does look pretty good? Dos Santos, probably not young enough for what I was looking for. The 23-year-old there doesn't look too bad. I'm looking for obviously a new centre mid at some point, so that would be nice if one was to crop up. There's obviously a few older players here, but I think there's one or two which could be possibly scouted for our Leeds team, which will be good, obviously. I'll be back in a second if I do find anybody else I think could be quite good. And actually, I've just stumbled across one straight away. Pinder, is that how you pronounce his name? 74 overall. 5'6", not particularly tall, but 74 overall and 21 years old does look quite good. There are some pretty decent players actually for us to choose from. A bigger squad depth than I realised, which is very good. And we will continue to use that. Hopefully you guys think that the Mexico job was an interesting one, rather than just kind of the cliche bigger teams that you usually get given. I think this is quite a good side to have, to be honest. Decent squad of players, some good goalkeepers, some good defenders. All round, some very good attackers and midfielders as well. There's not really a particular place in the squad that looks weak. So yeah, we will accept that job. We're part of the team. Now they're playing 5 at the back. I'll probably change that, to be honest, at some point. But I don't think we'll have internationals for a little while. Maybe March, is it, or something? You have internationals? Yeah, March. Against Chile and Ireland. So yeah, we'll wait and see what happens with those ones. But now I actually have to sim this game against Stoke City. A bit of a risk, this one, to be honest, because we don't have too many players that are going to be available. Like I've said many times, we don't have time to sadly play that match, so it might mean that we don't get a very good result here. It is at home, might help us, might not, let's find out. We drew 0-0, that's not too bad, it's better than what I was expecting considering the amount of games we have in this short space of time. And Ledesma's saying, thanks boss, same with Bridcut, which is good news. And we've also got West Ham yet again in the next episode. That is it for this episode. Again, apologies, it's going to be much shorter than usual. First of all, we actually have to deal with the youth player wanting out. I don't think it'll be too much of a problem for us. We'll quickly just do that before the end of the episode. Not the youth staff, we want to have a look at the youth academy and see what sort of youth player that was. Yeah, it doesn't really look good enough, to be honest. I'm just going to release him. I know his potential's quite good, but his overall currently isn't that great. And we need to actually start looking at some more younger players and send out the scouts again, because they've actually not going out at the moment. So I'll end the episode here. Like I say, apologies, it's much shorter than usual. But thank you very much for watching. If we go hit 20 likes on this video, I'd really appreciate it. Also, don't forget to go subscribe as well if you haven't already. And I will see you next time tomorrow for the Valencia career mode, obviously unless you hit the 20 likes before then. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.